What's up, guys? So I'm going to quickly go through the trailers and TV spots that came out during the Super Bowl on Sunday. I say Sunday because that's the day that the game was played, but because of time zones, it was Monday in Australia. So all of the information that I've sort of compiled for this video is very recent, and therefore there's a lot of sort of articles that have these 5 things and not those 3, or they have those 3 but not these ones, and you really have to look on everyone's site to find out what's on there. But I believe I've got a pretty comprehensive list here, so let's get into it. So the trailers included Minions Rise of Gru. It was a full 2 minutes long, and thank God for YouTube's fast forward feature where you just, on my phone, I can just double tap on the side and it'll fast forward me 10 seconds. I did that the 12 times or whatever that I needed to get past that, because I don't like the Minions, and that's putting it politely. I passionately do not like the Minions. Despicable Me was great as a standalone, and then little kids latched onto the Minions, and Illumination was like, this is a moneymaker, let's just make films solely about them. And I mean, I get it, that's the target audience, but it's the adults who have to pay for the tickets, and if my kids ever latched onto something as stupid as the Minions, yeah, they would be very disappointed children, because I would not be taking them to see it. We had a full trailer for Mulan, which looks incredible, aside from the fact that there's no Mushu. And I've even seen fan castings of like Kevin Hart to voice a live action Mushu. I would accept that. That sounds great. But they didn't do it. And instead they've got a phoenix replacing it. Don't know what that's about. And there's also now a witch on the Huns side, and I read a report that there's either been changes to or the complete removal of some of the songs from the original cartoon version. So this is going to be an interesting one to go and see. I'm normally not a huge fan of the Disney live action ones, but Mulan's probably going to be one that I'm going to go see, and just to see how well they did it. We got a trailer for and a TV spot for Fast 9, which looks kind of cool. I don't really know what the plot's going to be. I do know that it's going to be a bringing everyone together again for the 3rd film in a row kind of vibe, because it seems like they bring everyone together from all of the films beforehand. They all help each other with this one job, and then everyone goes home, and at the beginning of the next film you just bring them all back together again. Like, why did they leave in the first place? Can Fast 9 just end this with them all staying together, so that if they make, or inevitably when they make, a Fast 10, they don't have to go back to this same formula of bringing everyone back in, because then you can use that screen time to actually explain the plot a bit better and actually make an interesting action film. Just my 2 cents on that. We got a trailer for Amazon Prime's Hunters, which looks incredible, inspired by true events about a group of Americans setting up a Nazi hunting ring, I guess, from it looks like it's going to be set in like suburban America. I'm not entirely sure of like a time stamp on it. That kind of looked a little bit ambiguous to me. Plus, we only really get to see the backyard for like a reference to the time period. Everything else is sort of like a behind closed doors affair thing because they're hunting Nazis. But it's got Al Pacino in it, so it's probably going to be really good. So that's going to be one to check out. TV spots, I'm going to start off with the one that I'm not entirely sure if it's a TV spot or a trailer. It could be either, I can't really remember, but The Invisible Man looks amazing. It's going to be a horror film, and it is a remake of the 1933 film of the same name. I believe it's 1933. And the whole trailer very much gives me Hollow Man vibes. I believe that film had Jim Carrey in it. I'm like 90% sure. But it was also about a character who was able to turn himself invisible, and in Hollow Man I believe it drove him insane, whereas in Invisible Man originally it's a scientist discovers the like a formula to be able to turn himself invisible. However, he does not have the formula to turn himself back. It's based on a H.G. Wells novel, and H.G. Wells is one of my favorite authors, so I'm very much looking forward to this. It's going to be an incredible film. There was then, and I'm not even sure if we can call this a TV spot or a trailer or what, but it was a full minute long for Sonic the Hedgehog, basically broken up into two parts. The first being a bunch of interviews with some athletes about Sonic, and like referencing like his speed and his attack, where he like curls up into a ball, and all that sort of stuff. And in the last 30 seconds being the TV spot. It definitely seems like it's found enough comic relief as well as like high stakes action to be sort of entertaining for both kids and adults. So yeah, but knowing the mixed reactions that the trailers have had so far, this is going to be an interesting one to see as it comes out. Top Gun Maverick had a TV spot, and I wasn't overly fussed on it. I've not seen the original, don't intend on seeing the original, and there's nothing in Top Gun Maverick's trailers that have come out so far that have made me want to go see Top Gun Maverick either. But that's not to say that it's not going to be a good film, it's just not something that's interesting me at the moment. What is interesting me is the reports that the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, which is potentially the last time we'll see Daniel Craig as everybody's favourite spy. There's reports that it's doing something creatively different to every other James Bond film that's come out so far, and that it could potentially, and this could just be some exaggeration on one particular reporter's behalf, at least that I've read, but it could change the face of action films as we know them, which is definitely a high selling point and definitely puts a little bit of pressure on this film. But yeah, I'm very interested to go and watch this film just to see what it is that's so different from every other James Bond film. So No Time to Die will probably, for me at least, require a little bit of rewatching of the of the other, at the very least, Daniel Craig, James Bond films. And then the last two things on my list. The last two things on my list are Black Widow and the Disney Plus Marvel stuff. I'll try not to spend too long on this because evidently I can talk all day about Marvel things. But the only really new thing in the Black Widow TV spot, and again it's only 30 seconds, so they're just basically reusing a lot of the imagery from past trailers, but there is one line of dialogue that Natasha says herself, and that is that the Avengers weren't my first family. Now, in a Marvel film, saying the words first family definitely feels like a reference or a setup for the Fantastic Four, and knowing that this is Phase 4, and that they are at the moment in pre-production for the Fantastic Four, it's taking the priority over the X-Men stuff. We are getting the New Mutants. It is technically, or I think now officially, part of the MCU. So yeah, the X-Men aren't a high priority. Fantastic Four are, and knowing that they're in pre-production for that, having this line come out after the news that they are in pre-production for this definitely feels like a deliberate Easter egg on Marvel's behalf, to not only get us excited for Black Widow, but for the rest of Phase 4 and the imminent arrival of the Fantastic Four and some of their associated characters. I believe Namor is going to be showing up in The Eternals, which is the film directly after Black Widow, and Silver Surfer, I believe, is going to be showing up in Thor: Love and Thunder. I've heard reports, and pretty sure the main villain for Black Panther 2, which is in 2022, so a couple of years away yet. But the main villain for that, I believe, is going to be Doctor Doom, with the general theory being that he's set up Latveria in what is now the ruins of Sokovia, using the any remnants of the Ultron robots to rebuild his Doombot army, which could also then feed into the rumour that Ultron will be coming back sometime in Phase 4 or Phase 5. That's from that one line. That is what I took away from that. You say the words first family and all of a sudden you open a floodgate. The Disney Plus Marvel stuff, on the other hand, all looks incredible. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I believe, is in August, is when it will start coming out. So that's going to be a definite highlight that I'll be looking forward to. So yes, that'll be in August, I believe, if not a little bit earlier, maybe late, July. And the shots of it in this TV spot were amazing. They definitely give off this sort of spy thriller slash buddy cop sort of vibe that the show's probably going to be taking on. There's like a 5-second shot of Loki saying he's going to burn everything down to build up some hype for that. They've just started production for that, so getting that 5 seconds alone just shows you how eager they are to share that with the fans. And then the Disney Plus show that I'm looking forward to the most, WandaVision, pretty much taking up a good 50 to 60% of this TV spot, just of it in and of itself, based just purely because of the fact that it is going to be heading directly into sort of the cornerstone of Phase 4, being Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and the fact that it's going to start off with like these sort of sitcom-y type episodes, and then sort of develop into something more akin to what we expect from Marvel Studios, and the quality in storytelling and stuff that they can give us, as well as just in the shots in and of itself. I think there's, in total in this spot, there's like 3 lines of dialogue, I think, in total. 1 from each show, I believe. And just from the shots alone of WandaVision, we can already sort of see the different levels, like the different sort of sitcom eras that it's going to be taking place in, as well as sort of being able to string together a very rough storyline. There are already a couple of people that have done this. I will probably myself at some point do this as well, after I've sort of watched it enough times that I can form my own opinion on it, I guess. So probably only another 2 more times. But yeah, I will try to get the footage for that so that I can have it up on the screen while I'm talking, rather than you just looking at my face. Because let's be honest, it's probably going to be more entertaining to look at. But that's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more videos from me. I have linked the Instagram of the person whose artwork I used for the thumbnail in the description down below. But I saw it on in someone else's thumbnail, and I was like, that is such an amazing drawing of what the comic accurate costume for Wanda could look like in the MCU, that I just sort of felt like I had to share it. But again, I have linked the actual artist in the description. Make sure to go check them out. They've got a lot of really cool artwork on their Instagram. And yeah, until next time guys, keep your head screwed on.